Hey everybody, welcome to Potty Talk. I'm coming at you from a new bathroom, as you can see. This is my Nashville home. I have finally busted out of the hospital and I am on super strict bed rest. Yeah, I pretty much can't do anything, basically. I can go to the bathroom and I can take a shower every other day. That's it. So I was checking out YouTube and I saw this super fun large family tag and I decided to do it. So I wrote down all the questions, and it's kind of funny because my notebook that I typically use is still packed up in my luggage, which is upstairs, and I can't do the stairs. And so I was looking for something to write my list of questions down on, and I saw this. So me and Mickey Mouse were best friends there for a little bit, and I wrote my list of questions down on the back. So this is a large family tag. If you would like to do it, I will put all the questions in the description box below. And let's get started. Okay, first question. How many children do you have? Well, right now I have 6 and one, obviously, on the way. I feel so huge right now. So huge. I'm at week 28. I still have a ways to go. Question 2. What are their ages? So my oldest is 9. Then there's 7, 6, 5, 3, and 2. What is your family structure? So my oldest 2 are biological, and then the next 3 are a sibling set that we adopted out of foster care. We had them almost 3 years. February was 3 years, and we just finalized adoption in November. So yeah, pretty awesome. And then the youngest is biological, and obviously this one that I'm carrying is a bio. So we've got 3 adopted, 3 biological, soon to be 4. Question 4, how old were you when you had your first baby? Oh gosh, I should have thought of this first. I can't half the time remember how old I am. Let's see, Isaac was born in 2008. So that means that I was 23. I was 23 when I had my first baby. Question 5. Were they all planned by you and your partner, or did you leave it up to God? Well, we kind of started out thinking that we didn't want any kids yet. So I was on birth control for maybe a year and a half after we got married, something like that. And then we decided to just go off of it and see what happened. And I didn't get pregnant for a while. We tried for a while and ended up taking Clomid. And on the second round of Clomid, I got pregnant with Isaac. And then with Noah, I wasn't using any form of birth control because it had taken so long to get pregnant with Isaac, and we had needed help to get pregnant with him. But when Isaac was 10 months old, we found out that we were expecting Noah. And then after that, we, again, I don't think that we used birth control. I think we used something for maybe like 8-10 months after Noah was born. And then went off of it, again thinking it could take us a while to have a third one. And we didn't get pregnant. And I had 2 losses, one early at 6 weeks and then the other one at 10 weeks. And after that one, I was pretty confident that we were not going to have any more biological children. So that's when we started talking about fostering, and we became a foster family, and we weren't really wanting to adopt. We felt like that wasn't really our calling at that point. We just wanted to be, a temporary safe place for kids. So we did that for about a year and a half and had, 7 kids come through at that time and during that time. And then we got this sibling set of 3. And I knew from the very beginning that these were our kids. I just knew. We still supported birth mom, and in my heart of hearts, I wanted her to be able to have her family back. But it just became obvious as time went on that that wasn't going to happen. And it just sort of cemented that first initial gut feeling that I had that these kids were meant to be a part of our family from the very beginning. So that was definitely a God thing. We did not plan that. And we did not plan James. I was actually about 6 months pregnant whenever our adopted, or they were then foster kids, came to us. Excuse me. And he had been a huge surprise because we really did not think. There were 5 years between Noah and James, and for the majority, except for just a few months in there, we weren't using birth control. So, yeah, that was definitely a God thing too. This baby, we somewhat planned. We thought that we were done. And Jeremy and I just kind of talked about it off and on, that maybe we would like to have one more. We weren't sure when, but we thought we might like to have one more. So we had just started talking about that when in May of last year, even though I was using birth control, I did get pregnant. And we did lose that baby early on, like 5.5 weeks. And so that kind of, I don't know, it just sort of like helped us both. We were like, yes, we're ready. We're ready to go ahead and start trying for another one. Not knowing how long it would take, but we got pregnant the very first, once we decided, yes, that we want to go ahead and start trying for our last baby, it was 2 weeks later. I took the pregnancy test and I was pregnant. So, yeah, that was a lot. I was thinking it was going to take like 6-8 months at least. So, it was a little bit of a shocker. Okay, number 6. What is your favorite reaction to telling someone how many children you have? Okay, my favorite reaction just recently happened. It was in the hospital, and it was a lady on the nutrition staff. And she, I saw her every day. She brought me my breakfast tray, my lunch tray, and I'd been there maybe a week and a half, and she came in one day, and I told her my kids are coming this weekend. She said, how many kids do you have? She just picked up my tray from my little table, and she was going to take it out of the room. So she picks it up, she asked me, and I said, I have 6, and she dropped the tray back down on the table. She's like, what? And then she goes, you look good for having 6 kids. Of course, I just took the compliment. Was I going to tell her I didn't birth 3 of them? No, heck no. I take the compliment. Okay, next question. How do you usually handle negative comments? I don't typically get negative comments. I have one time we were in a I think it was at Home Depot or Lowe's or something, and a lady who worked there got a little intense with her questions, like, do you get money for the government? And what kind of job do you have to take care of how much does it cost to feed all those kids? She just, it was a little on the rude side. Like she was not approving of how many kids we had. But for the most part, I do not get negative reactions. Most people are shocked and they think we're crazy, but I really don't get negative reactions. What does it cost to feed your large family? Appropriate next question after what I just said. I don't like to think about this, honestly. We typically will spend about $230, $250 a week on groceries. And then we'll typically get one fast food meal during the week. And we'll go to a sit-down restaurant about once every 2 or 3 weeks. And that is expensive out the wazoo. So we don't do that very often. And to think that my kids are just, oldest is 9, and And I'm going to have 6 teenagers at once, people. That grocery bill is just going to go up, up, up. I'm like, you're going to have to be getting jobs when they're 14, 15 years old or something, because they're going to have to support their own grocery habits. Number 9, do you plan to have more children? Heck no. I do not. If Jeremy and I actually talked about this in a Q&A that I did with him. Before we had our diagnosis of spina bifida for baby Diana and before fetal surgery. And he said, yes, he thinks we're done. I said, I hate to make, like, you know, you can go back and watch that. But I generally, I hate to say anything definite about my life because I get proven wrong all the time. I think God thinks it's funny to take something that I say and be like, you just thought you knew what you were talking about. But we are definitely shutting down the factory after this one. Partly because we're going to have a special needs child with lots of therapies, lots of medical needs that will be lifelong. This is not just something that will affect her when she's young. This is something she's going to have to deal with the rest of her life. And since having the fetal surgery, and because they had to make my incision so large on my uterus, it would be very, very risky for both me and a baby to have another pregnancy. I would be on extreme bed rest the entire pregnancy, still have high risk for preterm labor, preterm birth, losing that baby. So it's just, Jeremy and I immediately knew, once we knew that we were having the surgery and we had Diana's diagnosis, like, no, this is it. And before, neither one of us would have been comfortable with doing something so permanent, but yeah, it's time. No more kiddos happening. None. 7 is the number of completion. Okay, what is your family vehicle? Well, I just got upgraded recently, the last 5 or 6 weeks. We got a Nissan Envy that is a 12-passenger, and I love that thing. I love it. It is a beast, but it's not hard to drive. It's not fun to park, but it's not hard to drive, and it fits everybody, and they all have room. We have room for our stuff. We have room for more people to ride with us. It's amazing. Number 11, do you eat out? I think I kind of already answered that question. Not very often. Number 12, how much milk do you go through in a week? I very much limit the amount of milk that my kids drink. They can have some in their cereal, and they get probably max 8 ounces in a day. I get them 2 small cups of milk a day. That's it. And we still can go through a gallon a day. Yeah. How many rolls of toilet paper do you go through every day? That one's kind of hard because we have more than one bathroom. We've got 3 bathrooms, and so I would guess that we go through maybe 1 or 2 rolls a day. I don't know for sure. I don't keep track of that. What is your favorite go-to meal? Well, my kids' favorite meal we call pizza pasta. And it's just brown sausage with green pepper and onion, a can of spaghetti sauce, curly noodles, rotini noodles, is that what they're called? I don't know. I just opened the box and poured in. All mixed together, and then I lay pepperonis on top with shredded mozzarella on top and let it melt. That's kids' favorite meal, and I like it because it's super fast. How do you manage the clutter? That's so funny. Basically, I have a few places in the house that I mentally accept are going to be cluttered. Like I have, if you've been watching my vlogs, you know this. I have one corner, we call it the corner cabinet, or the coffee cabinet, because that's where the Keurig is, in my kitchen. And that is where mail goes, odds and ends, any screws that are found, keys, change. That is one area of my house that I have just mentally accepted is going to be cluttered. And there are a few other places, like my bedroom is going to be messy because it's going to have a blue zillion loads of laundry all over the place, all the time. And also my boys, the oldest boys, well, Isaac, Noah, and James share a room, and their room is always messy. But they have the majority of the toys in their room, so that's usually why. But the rest of the house, we generally keep cleaned up because my brain can't handle the clutter. I get stressed out, can't handle it. So I just have those few little places that I allow to have some clutter in it, but everything else stays cleaned up all the time. Do you homeschool, private school, or public school? We homeschool. We've always done that. I was a homeschool grad. I loved it. And my kids generally are in a co-op. So they go to, once a week, they go to our local county co-op, which has like hundreds of families. And I mean, it's ginormous and tons of classes, tons of kids. It's awesome. And they do classes all day long on Mondays, and then the rest of the week we homeschool. This semester I decided not to enroll them in the co-op just because everything that was going on. I mean, we just couldn't do it this semester. How do you manage the chaos? Another hard question. I do not manage chaos very well. I do not. Mentally, I don't. I tell people all the time I have a noise quota of the day, and once that has been reached, the kids better be quiet because the mom is gonna lose it and go insane and become Hulk mama. So I find ways for them to be loud outside of the house. They go play outside every day. They can run, they can scream, they can holler. Once they are in the house, we do not run in the house. We do not yell in the house. But just, the kids don't have to be yelling to be loud. There's 6 of them. And if they're all playing, all talking, it's just loud. And so typically by dinner time, I've reached my noise quota. And it is time for children to be silent. Yes, they need to talk quietly, use calm voices. Otherwise, I'm like, my blood pressure goes up and I just can't. I can't handle. Okay, we're almost done. What do you do if you get free time? What? No, I don't have free time. No. In my normal life, not this weird bed rest life that I'm on right now. In our normal life, there is no such thing as free time. My free time is after the kids have gone to bed and I collapse on the couch next to Jeremy, and we are thankful that we have all survived another day. But right now, while I'm in this very weird space, very weird season of life where I have no children to take care of and I can't hardly even take care of myself, I do a lot of reading. I do a lot of work because I can work from my phone with Jamberry. Praise the Lord for that. I don't watch a lot of TV, but I do like to watch movies every now and then. That's about it. Not very interesting, I'm afraid. Last question. What is your number one tip for other large family moms? Oh gosh, you guys. I don't feel qualified to give advice to anybody. Find something that can be a stress reliever for you and do it. I don't know. You're just in survival mode most of the time. For me, something that is stress relieving for me is having a cleaning routine that I do every day. For me, that's calming. That's there's a simplicity and a grace to it in those everyday housekeeping routines that helps keep me calm. It took me a while to figure that out. It took me a while to realize that it is totally worth what I feel like is extra energy to keep my house clean, because it actually works the other way around. It fills me up. Everybody may not be like that, but whatever. Sometimes it's more of a mental thing. You just have to decide, okay, you know what? That cup of coffee at the end of the day or hot tea, that's going to be my unwind. Working out for an hour before bed, that's my unwind. You just have to kind of tell your brain, you know what? This is what it is. This is going to make you de-stress. You have to kind of trick your brain into things sometimes. But yeah, I feel like everybody has their own experience. Every family is different. They have their own traditions, own routines. I certainly don't feel qualified to give advice to any other mom. Okay, guys, that was fun. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said before, questions are in the description box. If you want to do this large family tag, I tag you. And I can't wait to see your video. See you later.